Hi everyone, I'm Carlota Pico from the Content Mix, and I'm excited to be here today with Tiffanie Sobczak, who is EMEA Marketing Manager at Aegis Software and has over 10 years of experience in marketing and communications. Welcome, Tiffanie, and thank you so much for joining us today on the Content Mix.
Thanks for having me.
The pleasure is ours. Tiffanie, I'd like to learn a little bit about your background. From my research, you just started at Aegis Software around 6 months ago now. What led you to where you are today?
Well, I've always liked marketing. From the business school I started, it was clear, and I've happened to always work with some tech companies and B2B tech, actually. Starting in France in simulation software for electromagnetics. So it means, always complicated, but it's kind of my thing, to help engineers who design like a mobile phone so that the electronics works well together in this really small piece. It was my first experience with tech marketing. International was always clear as well because, I studied abroad. We are in Europe, and I really love this intercultural, get to know other cultures, other people. I met my German husband there, so it was, of course, a good start in international. So after France in the simulation software company, we moved to Germany, and there I worked for German manufacturer, always for marketing, of course, a German manufacturer making fuel cell cogeneration systems. So again, not easy to explain, but really, really great to work for. So it's for the house. You make power and heat with this really innovative procedure. And this German company registered insolvency after around 5 or 6 years I was there, unfortunately. And then I was like, okay, what do I do now? So I took the opportunity to get back to studies a bit, to have an intensive training course for online marketing topics, all the things that didn't really exist when I studied at that time. So I'm a bit old, but still it was really good to get those new insights. And then I was reflecting, okay, what's the next best step for me? And I realized I need tech, I need B2B. So when you look for a new job, I was like, it's really clear. And what's my special thing? It's really this complicated tech. So I kind of use different channels, and I went on a trade show. I went on the Productronica trade show at the end of last year. I just talked with some people and say, hey, I'm in Munich. Do you look for someone? Here's my profile. And I met the nice Aegis people there.
Okay.
And it happened that they were looking for exactly the profile I had, international B2B marketing and actually the perfect mix of the experience I had until now with software and with manufacturing experience, because Aegis Software makes manufacturing execution system software. It means in the production line, often electronics, some cars or some airplanes, something quite complicated again. It's a system that helps digitalizing everything, not only having everything paperless on the production, but also handling the materials and having some good quality tracking and traceability and until analytics, for the worldwide sites of the enterprise. So it was.
And the rest is
right? It's the way I entered there, yeah. Okay, and it's 6 months. It's 6 months.
My next question is particularly relevant to you because you did just join a company. Skills in many cases can be taught and really trained for, but qualities, however, are much harder to develop, right? Like skills you can learn. You could take courses, you could go to school, you can learn on the job, but qualities are really just part of our DNA. They're ingrained in us. So let's say you're promoted and tasked with the responsibility of hiring for your current role. What qualities would you watch out for more than skills?
Well, as you said, I would look at the personality. Being authentic is really something, it's important to me. I think, it's the way it worked to be accessible, to show yourself, and to just be as you are, to be visible, to make yourself visible, to be communicative. So, well, authentic, but in an open way, I would say. It's a kind of quality I would look for, because if it's your nature, then you're going to, if you have some challenges, then you are going to be able to talk about the problems, to find out solutions, to invent new ways of getting out of the situation or get to new ideas.
Okay, excellent. Let's talk a little bit about COVID-19, speaking about challenges. According to the CEO of Walt Disney, the heart and soul of a company is creativity and innovation. In light of the global pandemic, in what ways has your department been innovative or creative this year, Tiffanie?
Well, it has again to do with communication, I would say. It's all about the team, I realized, and I was new, so it was, I just talked with the people online, but, to get to know them, what's their understanding, what can they tell me that I don't see in my marketing environment. So we just talked, and said, okay, look, what's meaningful now, and let's try this. Let's try more webinars. Let's try to figure out how is the audience thinking and feeling right now, and it's a great synergy, because then you realize, okay, it makes sense to just get inspired from each other and get creative solutions.
Okay, but your target audience are other businesses. So how do you know what other companies are feeling?
Well, and that's why I say it's all about the team, because of course, as a marketer, I'm not daily in conversation with them. But if I talk with my colleagues who are in sales, with my colleagues who are in the technical support, even the people who are discussing with, I don't know, with their accounting or something, and then we know, okay, what's their struggle at the moment? What are their business doing? Is it working at all? Is it open at all? Or do they have a lot of challenges because they want to adjust to the situation, especially in manufacturing? Maybe I can mention an example of one of our customers, an English company named STI, and they are an electronics manufacturer, right? So they produce different kind of electronics. And then there was the need of ventilator. So there was this UK ventilator challenge, and they took part to it. And to know in this time that they could adjust their production so that they produce ventilators, what was new to them. And, it has to be reliable as a product. And they could do it also because they were using our software. Then you are at the right place.
Okay.
To just take part of this, and so it's a good inspiration to see those customers. But you are also aware of other customers who struggle, who the production is not working at all, maybe. So for those, we bring some knowledge. Maybe we make a webinar so that they get prepared for later on.
Okay, great. Tiffanie, since you're a recent hire of Aegis Software, what do you bring to the table that makes you stand out? And what do you hope to accomplish a year from now? It's a pretty big question.
Yeah. I think what's special and what I like especially, and you don't find it in every company. That's why I'm really happy to be at Aegis right now. It's a kind of, I don't know how you call it, maybe 360 degrees marketing view. It's like you have to be aware of everything that happens. You have to know, okay, here there is this industrial association or this special journalist or this special event, and they are out there and they are part of this ecosystem. And so to have an eye on every little details, every channel possible that can get involved in and get in touch with, so that you go further in your communication activities. I've learned that in those specific industry where you are the marketing person for everything, and then I like it.
Okay, excellent. So women who wears many hats.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have them all. I think I would be missing some of them.
Well, Facebook's CEO was quoted saying the following. I'm referring to Mark Zuckerberg, of course. He said that in a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is to not take any risks. Looking back on your experience in marketing, what's a personal or professional risk that you've taken which has really paid off?
Well, I would say it's kind of linked, maybe with this hire at Aegis. When I was looking for a job, and I live in Germany, but I'm French.
Oh.
It's like we have different cultures, right? And I have nothing against it, but when I hear, okay, look, well, you're a mother, maybe look at something that fits with, with the time you need for your kids. And I was like, but it doesn't always fit with the responsibility you want to have, right? And I know there are a lot of efforts made and that's really good today. But I was thinking, okay, what's more important to me? Of course, I have my kids and they are doing perfectly fine, but I don't want to give up this career and this job I love, so I'm not ready to accept any kind of job just to fit what people think that I should do with my life, as a mother. So I said no. I want a really good job for me. I have ideas, I have energy, and I want to invest it where it makes sense. So I think it's part of the character that you have, and it's a risk because it's part of your CV, right? The people see you have 2 kids, but it's part of the personality. And I know at Aegis it's part of you, and I think everyone sees, if you live for your passion and your passion is the job you do every day, you like to dig in other ideas in marketing and to do everything so that we can just move on as a company towards success, then it's worth it. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, it definitely does. What a beautiful response, Tiffanie. So instead of doing what other people expected you to do or working in companies that other people expected you to work in, you decided that other people weren't going to decide what you were going to do with your life. And so you took that risk and ended up in a fantastic company who really appreciates that you're a professional, but you're also a mother.
Yeah, I'm a human. And we're all humans, so.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Well, to finish off this section of our interview, I'd like to ask you to zoom into a project or a campaign that you're particularly proud of, its purpose, and what made it so special.
Well, taking back this year until now, And I was new in the company, and within the first months, we realized, okay, there is a need there to change the channels. We don't go to any trade show. We can't meet the people. The people have other concerns. So, as I said, we said, okay, we are going to offer what we have, knowledge, expertise, and an ear if you have some questions and some needs. So we developed quite a heavy program of webinars from the American headquarters, but also here in Europe, to offer some deeper insights in our industry, in some manufacturing topics specifically, and how to do things better. And so the people could just access every 2 or 3 weeks if they like, in different languages, because it was also new to make them available in German and in French. So we started this up. And thanks to the great colleagues I have, we all worked at it so that they happen, those webinars, within a few weeks. And it was quite new for many people, but it's nice to see that it has some response, and it's a good path. So at the moment, I'm quite interested to see what will happen with these events.
Okay.
I don't know what you think about this, but I think it's really interesting to see what will happen with the trade shows and the virtual events and the hybrid, and it's really exciting right now.
I agree with you. I think it's very exciting moments that we are living. It's also very unstable and, I guess, challenging moments because we don't really know what's going to happen in the future, but it's up to us to reshape that future and reshape the world that we live in. So I guess we're going to, when we come out of COVID, we're going to discover a whole new world. And as marketing professionals, it's down to testing again, right? We have to test and do A/B testing, see what works, see what doesn't work, and shape a program according to those discoveries and findings. Okay, moving into the last section of our interview. It's a rapid fire set of questions. So to get the section started off, I'd like to ask you about your source of inspiration. So an influencer or a professional role model that you really admire.
Well, there are a lot of them. It's a combination, of course, but maybe one person, she's German, so I don't know if you could follow her if you don't understand German, but she's at Microsoft here in Germany, Magdalena Rogel. Lena Rogel, I think is her name on Twitter. And she has this kind of authentic approach, and she trying things out. And I remember this year she started to do some shortcasts. She just took the mic and on Twitter and was expressing what happens, what she thinks would happen. She's also in marketing, of course, so it helps. But also showing emotions. So it's an interesting personality, interesting approach.
Okay, thank you. And to finish off this section, I'm going to ask you about your favorite app at the moment and why.
Apart from LinkedIn, which is great to deep dive in different industries and to get some input from different perspectives, job profiles, and people, Spotify. Spotify. Yeah, it has not a lot to do with work. I'm sorry, but it's apart from music, when you need some inspiration background or a quiet background, and of course with podcasts. I really like this.
Excellent.
Listen to podcasts.
That gives me an awesome opportunity to remind our audience that our podcast will be available on Spotify as well. Check out the content mix for different interviews that I've led with personalities from across Europe within the marketing industry. Tiffanie, it was a pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you for joining us on the content mix. And thank you for your time and also those great insights.
Thanks a lot for your time. It was fun.
And to everybody listening in today, thank you for joining us on the Content Mix. For more perspectives on the content marketing industry in Europe, check out the Content Mix. We'll be releasing interviews just like this one every week, so keep on tuning in. Thanks again. Have a fabulous day and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.